that is known as Adaptive Gorniak. Anyway, Adaptive Gorniak, let me just do the team's sorting first. We can see there is reclaim, 22,000 reclaim across the entire map. It is absolutely everywhere. Rocks in all sorts of places. We've got some buildings down here that could be reclaimed as well. All sorts of stuff, just like everywhere. So fighting over reclaim, not so much important, but trying to reclaim everywhere is important. A couple of larger rocks here and there. Anyhow, we have up the top section team number 2. We have team 2 down the bottom over here. And first off, for team number 1, been assigned the yellow color, is Victorique. Victorique is Seraphim. And I'm guessing, oh no, is it the female version of Victory? Is it Victorique like, I don't know. Anyway, he's Seraphim. We're going to stop that now. I've got no idea what's going with that. And he's jumping into his Hydra already. A couple of mixes up. And his teammate today in the red color up the other side, it is Stonebrain. Stonebrain is Aeon, and he's also starting to work on his Hydro, and looks like he's planning out an air factory after that. Their opponents today for team number 2, first off, down here in the blue corner, it is Please. And Please makes me think of old Warner Brothers cartoons. I can't remember who the character was, but they always said Please instead of Please. But there he is, he's Seraphim in the blue color, as we say. And he's just finishing off his Hydro. His teammate today in the grey colour, it is Konorak. Konorak is Cybran, and he is looking to get into the air game early as well. A couple of pigeons into the factory. Okay, so not much in the starting spaces. We see there is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 mixes there. We have 1, 2, 1. I thought there was a third. There is a third mix there, and 5 there for the player. So not a huge amount of mixes now. The starting definitely need to expand. Now, speaking of expansion, we see Konorak is looking to expand this way with some labs. So he's going to move them on up. He's got a scout with them just to keep an eye on, and I imagine their direction is this way. Looks like they're going up here just to maybe catch any potentially wayward engineers. I'll be surprised if it was engineer first into that section and not some kind of combat unit. Excuse me, I just need to clear my throat a wee bit. And I will mute my microphone so you don't have to listen to that. Alright, down on the bottom we can see that Please is moving up with his comm. He is wanting to just gain and hold this area. And what better way to do it with the commander against units? So that's quite neat actually. A bit of a road that's been travelled by civilians. We see we've got a kind of like a manufacturing facility here. Sometimes these little touches, they're pretty neat. A couple of manufacturing facilities, got a hydro there to give them power, and you know, some buildings, admin buildings, maybe a bit of more manufacturing and stuff like that. It's just pretty neat to see. You know, just some evidence that you're not just fighting on a barren landscape, but there's actually been, you know, some kind of construction going on. There were civilians around, and maybe they've evacuated by now. I mean, look, we've got mining stuff going on, which is, well, it's reclaimed and turned into mass for somebody's coffers, but it was there. It was just neat little things. Like, I like that on maps. I like that. Right, down this way we see a float sling that's just wanting to keep itself hidden to give some intel. Unfortunately, one of the few units that can see it is a commander who is going to be in range very shortly. It's right on the edge of his Omni radar, and any closer and he'll shoot it in a moment. As soon as it gets spotted, no further intel for you. Gonna shoot? Gonna shoot. Alright, so we are looking at potential com-on-com action down the bottom between Puis and Victorique. Up here we have a T1 bomber. That is out for Konorak, though it has been picked up by an interceptor. Interceptor just kills it before the defending one from Konorak. So the bomber gets approximately 1 kill on an engineer and nothing further. Up there just kind of chilling. Maybe he's already grabbed the reclaim. And but yeah, down here it is com on com shooting at each other. Alright, take that back. It is Victorique shooting at the mass extractor, whilst Puig just gets a bit of free damage, but now they're having to go at each other, and a shot for shot, and they can't really stay like that. It'll be a mutual KO should they keep on that kind of fashion. There are supporting units coming in for Victorique, though a couple of tanks on the way, and not much for Puig, so Puig needs to be a wee bit careful. Doesn't want to overextend too much, especially with supporting units, because that will just give free damage. Alright, up this way we see the commanders in close proximity. Both are setting up a large amount. I hear another bomber. I missed a note. There it is. There is a bomber out from Puig. He's got himself 3 kills. So let's grab 3 engineers in a nice little clump here. They were nice and close, hanging together, ready to die. And now one more bomb. And it's going to kill off 5 pigeons, but tagged by interceptors. No! Comes back and watch these die explosive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pigeons. So 3 engineers, 5 pigeons, and that is one very successful bomber. Up here we see these labs have snuck on round behind. They've killed off an engineer up here. They have killed off a mass extractor. Now though, they run into an Aurora, and that's going to be all she wrote for those guys. See you later. It's back into the middle. We can see Stonebrain is trying to build factories under fire from Mantis. Pro tip, that doesn't work. If you want to build factories, you can't be getting shot at. He's got a couple of factories back here. He's going to want to start building units out of those though. And his commander is moving around trying to kill off the units. He can shoo those away. Perhaps he can keep things alive. Oh, 71 health left on that factory. He's not going to carry on though. Realizes it's maybe a bit of a precarious position. And he's going to move on away. There's some supporting units, and this Mantis runs off this way looking to maybe kill off some engineers, but runs afoul of a pair of Auroras. Not going to get anything further done, and this engineer might now have a chance to finish off this T1 PD, which would be good at holding that wee section for a while. Over this way we have a push coming in. That is Puig and Konorak. They have finished off the few units from Victorique, so no run by for him at that point. Gun upgrade on the way for Puig, so I think that is the first commander upgrade. He's needing nothing from Victorique. He's the only one standing still, because we know up here that Stone is building up factories, and down here Konorak is doing the same. So first gun commander is going to be Puig down here, ready to rock. Ask for a bit of mass to help finish that off. As you do, it is a team game, maybe you can help each other out. Alrighty. Back up the top, and some Auroras actually up on the hill. That's interesting. Actually passable, and they could start sniping away at these buildings. They could maybe do a bit of a run by, or they could sit still and get introduced to some Medusas. But now, running straight into a swarm of Mantis, not a great idea. That further shell lands on nothing. Okay. Gun upgrade is done for Puig, and we see Victorique is starting their gun upgrade, so advantage at the moment for Puig, especially as he's got a run by of Sams going this way. And what is there to stop them? Oh, if they carried on this way, they would have had an NG slaughterfest. There's 6 engineers sitting here just waiting to die. The Sams roll past them though, and nothing happens. They managed to scoot out of the way just in time. Having said that, the Thams are turned around and they're starting to focus down on the pigeons. The engineers start work on a T1 PD. I think they'll be alright though, because they see some supporting units are coming back in. Number of Thams going to clean those up. A couple of pigeons are dead, but that's not too bad. Gun cancelled by Victorique, so he spotted the incoming Puig, and he knows he wasn't going to get that gun finished before Puig got in range. And that would have been an absolutely terrible time. Another wee run up here from Konorak, so they did come up and take out the mass extractors in this region, just denying a bit of eco with some raiding, just to be irritating. But it has worked. Aurora's moving down here from Stonebrain. They're going to take out that mass extractor, followed by that engineer and the radar. Unfortunate timing, the radar only just got finished and now it's dead. Has got another radar back here, so he's not too badly off. To be okay. However, Stonebrain is up here with his commander without units. He's going to want to think about moving these on back, because he's got some issues otherwise. It is commander plus units versus just commander. Both have plenty of build power, though we have 6 factories here for Konorak. We have, I guess if you count these two, 5 here for Stonebrain. But these factories are under threat from the units, and there's not enough on the ground to repel them, I'd say. I think Stonebrain needs to consider falling back. He does not have a lot to assist his comm, and he does not want to lose out here. Also pushing up on the left hand side. This is Puis, and he has engaged Victorique with his gun comm. It has completely upgraded, and Victorique now needs to decide to flee the scene. He cannot compete with this unless he has overwhelming unit advantage, though at the moment Puis is focused on a T2 Max that was a T2 Mass Extractor. That is a hit to Victorique's eco. Could ill afford to lose that. And now Puis is needing to fall back. He's keeping his units back. He wants to focus on units rather than the commander. He needs to change up his target priority because Victorique is not what he wants to be shooting at. The majority of the damage right now is coming from these units, and Victorique is going to stop out of range, and now Puis is going to start the cleanup. I think he should be okay. Checking up this way, and still looking fairly even between these two. Neither of them have the gun upgrade. Stonebrain has an advantage in the hit point department starting out, but Konorak has the regeneration that's helping, and he's got units coming on in. So what is Stonebrain doing? He's going the wrong way with his comm, and he's actually getting surrounded. Oh dear, this is not fantastic. That's not where he wants to be. Where is his units? Well, they're over here. They're getting sniped out. And oh, hello though. We have mercies. 3 mercies coming in for Konorak. And are they going to be enough? How's your health? Oh, this is going to be very, very close indeed. He's down under 6,000. The mercies coming over. There's no T1 AA in the mix at all. So they are going to connect. And I think... boom, down goes Konorak. Stonebrain gets the mercy kill. That was a gamble and it worked. Stonebrain, however, is heavily injured. Standing right next to that explosion. He has under 3,000 health left. He could get rushed. And that just might be exactly what happens. See here, Puis has had to fall back, and yes indeed, Stonebrain is now getting rushed. He doesn't have any upgrades on that commander, remember, so it takes him longer to get through those units down to 1,000, 750, under, he's gone. So yes, he's gotten the kill on Konorak, but straight afterwards, did not have any units with his commander. And I don't know, maybe he thought he could make a run for the water, but that is a cliff he can't walk down, and that is Stonebrain. And he went for like against Konorak, picked off, and that might just be the advantage he needs to give his team an edge, because Konorak was the highest rated player, which now leaves Victorique versus Puis. At the moment though, it's kind of looking like Puis is on the offensive. He's got units running up the back here. He's got some good pressure over this side. Behind the gun upgrade is Victorique, and Puis is down here. His commander's still getting work done though, and now along with some supporting units he should be able to take care of this. Plenty of health on there, plenty of kills, a couple of ranks of veterancy, and we should see that be repelled. Right, have a quick look at the eco side of things, and Puis is ahead by, well, reasonable amount, 15 ticks a mass, 15 mass per tick. Words around the wrong way, congratulations on me. And up in the eco energy range as well. Let's have a look for tech that's on deployable on the field. Well, this is all T1 from, no, I take that back, there's a T2 factory here for Puis. I don't see any tech on the ground though. Maybe we'll see some engineers come out for some power. He has got a T2 air factory here, and that's where the power's been placed up, so perhaps we're going to see a T3 shift out of that. There's plenty of power surrounding it. We have any tech cybernet land-wise? No, this is all just T1 spam going on out, and spam it is getting a job done too up that side. Over here, sizable army for Puis, but they're going to run into the gun comm of Victorique, so he wants to get into the gun game as well, wants to do a bit of area denial, take on some units, get some ranks of veterancy just like Puis has. And you can see Puis is a wee bit concerned about the mercy snipe on his own commander, keeping some interceptors loitering around at all times. Run by in the middle from Victorique, just sneaking a few units through. No, don't kill the civilian. Aww. always a wee bit saddened by that. You know, a player's gone to all the trouble to actually capture one of these trucks instead of killing it. And it's amusing just to do so and then run the trucks back to your base. So haha, I got civilians, but otherwise they wouldn't get shot normally. But this band is setting up here, setting up shop in this delivery group. Maybe not so wise to sit still, especially when there is some artillery around. It's going to be bad for your health to stay in range of those and not shoot back. Sizable force moving here, and Victoric didn't actually engage. Took his comm back. Maybe he actually wants to bring this in, keep this army back and thin out some numbers before he goes. But here we go. Commander now starting, but just not quite getting in range of those to do anything. Massive army up the top of Please, and that looks like T2 air as well. Well, we know he's got T2 air, sorry. He had his teammate, the Mercies, out here. Now he's producing Swift ones though, wanting to control air with those. You see T2 ground and T2 air for Victoric in the Seraphim side of things. There's a couple of T2 Beijings and he's good to go there. Did we see a T3 shift? No, that is just more Corsairs. Down here, yes indeedy. Okay, but this run by has been quite successful. These units have gotten right through the mid here. They push straight on in, and they are now wrecking face in the base. They pushed over this way. They could get a whole lot of eco destroyed before this band turns up, but sitting still, they're a wee bit caught out. And now though, also pushing up in the front. Units here along with Victoric behind, and they're cleaning up shop on this side. On the flip side though, we see Please is doing exactly the same with the other edge. Now these are units and they are rushing on up here, but some Nothers are coming out. They're going to be a godsend right now. They can start dropping bombs indiscriminately, killing units left, right and centre. And any gunships might be a good idea to start spitting out of there. They can just hover overhead and take care of that. The Nothers do swing back though. We're going to see some more bombing rounds. Perhaps they want to focus on here where the units are clumped up. They can get a whole bunch of ones if they drop their bombs correctly. T1 PD being thrown down. Maybe that needed to happen a while ago. Going to be helpful to try and take things out, but no protection, no walls around them. Means they're going to go down, but bombs do drop in. 4 kills from that bomb. And I think the Noth is going to be the saviour of the day here. RFE Tham's coming back to assist, but the bombs are what's going to do it. Look at the numbers just dwindle from those. And down here has been repulsed. So didn't quite make it in. Some Ilshivas have popped out from Puiz, and that has made this band not be able to push. See, they're just loitering around there. Commander's still on the rope around there for Victoric, and is now in range of this area here. Can start killing off structures, can start killing off PD, can start killing off eco. It starts with the point defense, bit of an overcharge, kills some of the engineers as well. I guess some good work done there. A couple of factories up on the edge from Puiz, and just going to start popping out some T1 RT just to be extra irritating. The Nothers here have been caught, and the air wing from Puiz comes in and just basically obliterates them. There's nothing left of those. I do wonder what's faster, the Nothers or the Interceptors. I have a feeling it's the Interceptors just because they are fighter bombers. I just want to have a check on that just to be certain. Let's have a look, see if it actually tells us. Well, those aren't in there, they are from here. We are catching up, and we are seeing fighter bombers. Do we have speed? Flying speed 15. And if we compare that down here to the T1 Inties of the Prowlers, so that is actually from here. Prowlers have a speed of 15, so they have exactly the same speed. If the Nothers had got a lead on the Interceptors, they could have kept out of range and maybe bombed a sensitive target such as power or a commander. That could have been a good task, but the Nothers instead fly right overhead. They do circle back around now, and they are going for the commander. Victoric is in the region as well, but those are Ilshivas going for his comm. Plenty of interceptors in the air from Puiz, so those Nothers aren't going to last too long. They do a little bit of damage on the commander, but maybe not enough to be terribly effective. Perhaps they would have been more use coming back this way and trying to find some power like these. So here, knocking out the Pigeons would have been very hurtful towards Puiz. That would have done some good damage. There's 3 T2 Pigeons, each one doing like 500 power. Would have halved his power production and been very damaging on that front. Now, it is Victoric who has to be careful. He has Corsairs overhead, so his Nothers are gone. His interceptors are sitting back here. They need to scramble immediately and come support the commander, who is getting corsared to the face. Needs to start ducking, diving, dodging, trying to do what he can to not die to that. No T1 AA in the mix of this slot. This is all just tanks and arty. Yeah, the interceptors? Well, there they are. Speaking of T1 arty, up the back here, this is not great. His Medusas are wrecking the base over here. Victory having some problems. He's going to lose this T2 air factory, I fear. The bombs are just landing, and shells are just landing, and it is going to go. Interceptors did scramble up enough, and down into the red is Victory. 2,500 health before the interceptors can clear things out. Still some Corsairs around. Still a few of them around actually, and the interceptors are going to need to do something before they get cleaned out. To just over 2,000 health left, but I don't think there's any more Corsairs. There are some Ilshippers on the push though, and Victory with overcharge should be able to handle those. With overcharge, there we go. There's a shot off, and he does have supporting units with him, but still, that was probably too close for comfort. Needs to consider walking away. It's a decent amount of region though. Is a 3-rank veterancy commander, and you can see already he's back up to 3,000 health, so getting on up. And there's more Corsairs coming. Although the interceptors from Victory are still in the area, they get a good solid run down to 1,500 health. Don't want to have that happen again. Definitely does not want to have that happen again. And where's he going to go with his commander this time? Well, standing still, jinking around in circles. No secondary run from those Corsairs. So close. Units down here though, they are poised to make a mockery of everything here. Maybe if they can kill the engineers before they finish off the T2 PD would be great, but there is another one back here being built by more engineers. And this is all T1, so it's going to take them a while to do things. Is this one going to finish? Yes it is. It's going to turn and shoot as well. These guys need to carry on out of range of the PD. Maybe back over here would be a great place for them to head, but they are sticking around in range of the PD. Now they're on the move. Being chased down by Ilshippers as well though. They can get some damage done back here, perhaps kill off a bunch of engineers, a couple of Corsairs though in the mix, and they're going to throw their shells on down, and that is going to be all she wrote. So almost a successful run by, almost got some work done. But the Corsairs, point defense and Ilshippers make sure we can have some friendly fire though. Why don't you kill off some of your own engineers? Hey, why not indeed? Still Corsairs coming out of there, so no tech shift on the air for Wheeze. We have Volthu's gunships coming out for Victory, so he is wanting to maybe stem this very annoying Medusa tide. He's got to take care of these factories. That's where they're coming from. Does he know that they exist is the question. Well, he does. They have been scouted, so why not? Alright, we can see units are pushing up this way. Some of the Thams are running straight into Cerberus turrets again. We saw a lack of scouting, so he had no idea they were there, and was just pushing into the unknown, which is awful. But it seems like he has the map control at the moment. Might have the map control, doesn't have the tech, and doesn't have the eco. Start doing something. That Wolfie needs to actually loiter around and finish off these factories. Maybe get a couple more doing the job. There we go, got a couple more there. They need to come on over and look at cleaning that up, because that is just an irritation in his side that he does not need. Plenty of factories throwing out the T1 spam here. We've got a lot of Zoes and Thams being thrown out. Maybe a couple of T1 AA. I did not see any in the build orders of these. So sticking with the full on ground spam. I'm going to rely on interceptors for his anti-air. Commander is just balls to the wall. Yeah, whatever. I might be injured. I might have nearly died once, but I'm going to stay up here and kill stuff off. Why not? Plenty of factories, plenty of free kills. And that'll also help get maybe his final rank of veterancy. Has got 4 right now. Going to take some time to get to the 5th one, but hey, what do you know? Alright, interceptors have been waited on. Maybe they were going for... There we go. So there were some more Wolfus turn up. They did finish off that top section. We see some Ilshippers down here, and they are just absolutely cleaning up these T1 units. They have so much health. Comparatively, they have high rate of fire, high damage. Just look at the Thams go boom. Now these guys are having an absolute field day. Tariq needs to get into the T2 ground game sooner rather than later. There we go. We have a T2 HQ here. Definitely wanting to do that, and still sticking with the Wolfus. consider ticking up somewhere somehow. Right, Nothers are out. What are they going to go for? Got a bunch of them. Maybe he's going to try and find the T2 pigeons down here. If he drops some bombs in that location, it'd be grand. Really good hit if he can take those out. But instead the Nothers are coming back this way. They're going to help finish off the factories. I don't think there's a real need for that. I think they'd be better used as a surgical strike on something down here. Maybe even a commander if he gets caught out of position. But yes, I do think Eco is the better option to use for Nothers. Drop onto that, maybe drop a couple of bombs onto a T2 mix to knock it out. If I remember, Nothers do about 1,000 damage per bomb. Let's just double check that actually. Right, tactical bomb does 1250. So there you go. The two Nothers are enough to take out T2 pigeons. They're enough to take out T2 mass extractors. So the amount of Nothers he's got, he could use these to take out a whole swath of eco. And the interceptors were flown in by Victory. Maybe it's a distraction, I don't know. Maybe he was just wanting to take care of the Corsairs. Either way, that was quite a bit going down. Now these guys have flown straight through a wing of their own. What are they going for? They're going for the power. The bombs are out. Here they go. Indeed, he has gone for the power, but not quite split. Or maybe he had split and didn't work out, but another final Nother comes on in. That is 2 of the 3 pigeons down. That's a good bit of damage to Zico. That's going to slow down his air production, force him to rebuild that. There was a single Wolfie back up here trying to take out some engineers, but running into a whole horde of T1 static AA. This is a prime target for a commander to go for. Let's see, one more Corsair flies on over this way. It's going to get romped on by a wing of interceptors. Not good times for him, but yes indeedy. Still the land game. We are seeing a ton of Ilshivers being the absolute bane of T1 land. He has got T2 back here, but he's still producing T2 NGs. Question is, what is he doing with them? The answer is, I don't know. Alright, it is time to see Ilshivers versus T1 spam. And I've got to say, my money is usually on Ilshivers at this point. They can take a lot of punishment and deal a lot. If they're microed correctly, stay out of range, they'll do fantastically. If they sit still and get overrun one by one, they will get obliterated. But when you have a group like this, they can deal a decent amount of damage at range and going to cut down many of the numbers before they even get a chance to shoot back. Up here, there we go. Commander has found this little wee group of units. T1 point me is trying to get on down. It's not going to last long. Just going to shrug off the damage from that and turn it into scrap metal. Okay, there is still a T2 mix up here. So Puiz has grabbed both of the corner points actually, and has built up on that point, getting some reclaim. We see some combat units coming down this way. That's going to be a bad time for those units. And what do we have here? Well, plenty of T1 interceptors have come out from Victory. He does not want to risk getting T2 air sniped. There is a real danger of that with the amount of Corsairs that Puiz was lining up. But they're done for. Okay, Ilshivers don't do very well against gunships, mainly because they can't shoot back. So the gunship's going to have an absolute field day cleaning up these guys. A nice little wee group of Ilshis, ready to raid, ready to run, and ready to die. See, interceptors are coming out from Puiz. He wants to try and keep them alive, but defending inties from Victorica in position immaculately to intercept that, and they can swing in behind and clean up this entire air wing. In fact, there goes the air fight, and that first engage goes fantastically for Victorique, and he turns the interceptors of Puiz into nothing but reclaim. All the wrecks falling on the ground there. Another wing of inties separate from the others come through. Look like they're trying to go straight for the gunships. They might get through and kill one or two, but no. The interceptors again from Victorique. So that is some good airplay for Victorique. He's gotten the win there and now absolutely controls the skies. He can look at trying to do, well, something, anything with the air game that he's got. Maybe with that advantage he'll consider swapping to T3. Gee, he's decided to stop building air altogether. A curious decision. I thought perhaps we'd see a shift, but Ilshivers was over here. Well, they tried to get work done, but of course, as mentioned, the Vulthus were around. They have then turned them into reclaim. got enough here to get some good upgrades on the way. Plenty of indies. Absolutely plenty. So now it is Breeze who's out of the air game. He is working on still just the T2 air. Is not building any more courses. Instead he's spitting out a bunch of T2 engineers. Interesting decision. Have we got any kind of cyber tech? No, it's still just the T1 over there. Still rocking the T2. No, I take that back. He has upgraded to T3 land, and there goes a T3 Pigeon. What is the reclaim field? Lots. 62,000 reclaim on the map to be had. There's a huge amount up here, and engineers are getting to work on it already for Victory, especially these nice larger chunky bits there. These airship's been left up. There's, yeah, I think this is the main reclaim war going on over there. Huge amount down here, a bunch of dead airship's, a bunch of dead T1. Look at that. If we have this section here, 15,000 reclaim on this area alone, and we see engineers from Victory are doing the reclaim jobs on there. What engineers? Well, here's a couple. Do we have some moving out? This is the moving out right here to try and grab this reclaim. Yeah, no, the whole map. 57,000 reclaim to be had. A few massive clumps in the middle. Some dead T2 up there. Right, T3 shield gen. Wanted to keep that power generator alive. Wanted to keep the T3 HQ alive. Victory has grabbed the nano repair on his column. So he's got the gun, he's got the nano repair, getting the advanced nano repair now. So he is going full on Rambo Commando. Now that is an interesting strategy. Let's see if that is going to be worth it. And again we see those sneaky little side factories from Queez. Excuse me, hiccups, where they come from. But anyway, those harassing side factories, Victory have any idea they're there? No, he doesn't. He doesn't even have radar. Oh, he needs radar. Look at this. T1 units down here are getting just killed at range. And that is a warning. Does he hear that is the question. No, he doesn't even hear that because he's got no visual on it. Oh, he does. And perhaps he hears that now and goes, oh dear. Oh dear indeed, those are T1 units that have been swarmed by some T3 Othams. And he needs to get into the T3 game somewhere, somehow, whether it's the air factory, whether it's the land factory. He has so many T2 engines doing on a reclaim binge. That's not what he needs to do right now. He absolutely needs to get tech up. Stop building the T2 engines. Maybe take your air factory. You certainly have enough power for it. You've got a whole bunch of T2 pigeons. But yes, that's going to be something he needs to sort out. Here we go up here though. Those Medusas are being a pain in the buttocks. Maybe get these gunships he's got here. And even as I say that, that's exactly what he's doing. They're now moving back up this way. Going to kill off some of those. But this is a serious threat. T2 and T3 mix will just simply romp over anything that Victory has on the ground right now. He absolutely must get into the tech game somewhere. He's sticking with the upgrades, so advanced nano repair is nearly done actually. There we go, that is done. And now he's going for the splash. So absolutely he is going for the mini experimental in the form of the commander. High risk, but it can be very high reward. Right, gunships have landed over here, not what they need to do. They need to consider moving and finishing off all of that. But the air wing from Victory caught napping, sitting on the ground, and the air has come in from Queez looking to get in behind, which it has. This is a bad engage for Victory. This air is sitting still, getting obliterated. It was in range of some flak as well, could not stay there, and this is not great. He has caught a fantastic engage from Queez, has decimated the numbers. He's now got the air up in the sky and is catching up alright, but that he has lost so much air at that point. A huge loss by a much smaller number of interceptors from Queez, and Queez of course has all of this. He has T3 air as well, so he has made the transition to T3 land and T3 air. Compare that to over this way, and Queez is sticking with the T2. More T2 engines coming out with the reclaim. T2 engineers are no good against Othams. They will die. It's because they have no defense. Alright, we can see Corsairs are loitering around there trying to take things on. The air wing is still going there and not really building more interceptors. He's got a single air factory just trying to keep up his air production, and the gun upgrade is done. So this is now a very chunky, very high health commander, and looks like he is on his way. I suspect he's going to try and do some kind of shenanigans. Alright, interceptors just kind of loitering around for victory, out of fuel, just kind of sitting around doing nothing, and a bit of an air fight going on over here. Should go better for victory with the more numbers, but these are all T1 inties at the moment. We have T3 lands rolling up into his base, right into his face. We have a T1 PD is going to get not much done there. Those Othams will make a mockery of that thing. Not feel comfortable. I saw that coming. Let's just see what they're going to do to this. Look, T1 point advance. And it's gone. Just like that. Nothing doing. Just basically ignores the damage. They are heavily damaged actually. They've just borne the brunt of things like that. But it's a bit of a hill in the way, so hey, we could say, oh, fuck the ground again. T2PD having to go at the ground instead of the units that needs to shoot, and that's going to go badly. But over this side we see a swarm of Zuis preceding the commander stomp, and here comes Victorique. I do wonder if he has a target in mind. Does he know? The thing is, does he have any kind of scouting? Well, he still has no radar. Desperately needs radar to see what he's going into. He has scouted, so he has an idea of what's here, but things like this, when there's more being put up that he does not see, absolutely wants radar. He's got engineers behind. Just stop that NG, step down a T1 radar. All you've got to do to make your life a bit better. But now the rout is absolutely on the way. These units have come through. They're going to just demolish these factories, turn them into even more reclaim. We have T2 air over here. The Corsairs are now just free to do as they please. There's just not many interceptors left, and of course the inties also have to contend with the flak. If they fly over that, they're going to have a terrible time. And again, there's T3 air, so still no T3 upgrades from Victorique. He's got T1 RD sitting in his base. That is killing off mixes, killing off eco. Not great health there, but look at this. This commander has just waltzed into the base of Breeze, is basically ignoring all of the T2 PD, is out regening what the PD was capable of doing, and here he goes. What is on the ground to stop this? The answer is basically nothing. Free to walk on in, and there's a bunch of Zuis coming up behind, so this is a huge damage potential out of here, and Victory could wander through this base right now and just cause mayhem. There are some point defense down here, which Breeze is there also building T3 units, but right now, here we go. This is exactly the counter that they needed. Yeah. And Victorique has nothing for this. He has no kind of air and strap bombs as well, so now the commander's in extra strife. Nothing but Zuis over here. They're going to run into a bank of T1 PD and get munched by all of that. And now Victorique up here without much in the way of anti-air. He's got some interceptors coming in, but they're going to take forever and half a day to get through the health in their gunship. And they're going to get struggle with the anti-air down here from the waders as well. And Victorique, well, it was a bold move. And perhaps it was the only move he could think of doing. But the end result is he is going to be turned into scrap by air. Powerful on the ground, perhaps if he had managed to get him closer to Breeze, he could have taken his commander out. But as it is, that is going to be GG Victorique. Massively powerful commander, but no support, and dominated and destroyed from the air.